Hey everybody, I'm Coach Eli and welcome to Movement Revolution at Home. For today's exercises, we are going to be focusing on hip stability. The majority of the exercises today are going to be on the mat, but there are standing alternatives if you're not comfortable getting down all the way to the floor. But to begin, we're going to start with a quick warm up here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to stretch those legs out just a little bit. I want you to put those feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and we're going to reach down towards the floor, keeping those legs as straight as we can. Just going down as far as you can to feel a nice big stretch in those legs. Hold this for a few deep breaths. And we're going to roll all the way up nice and tall. Good. This time we're going to go down towards one leg, nice stretch. Hold for 2 deep breaths, then move to the other foot. 2 deep breaths. You can also do these seated. Slowly going to stand back up. So our warm-up is going to be power-ups first. So again, feet about shoulder width apart, reaching down for the floor. Big wide chest, opening up, stretching out that chest. We're going to do 30 seconds of that. 10-second rest. The second exercise, we're going to do some weight shifted reaches. So you're reaching from side to side. Both of these exercises can be seated if you're more comfortable sitting down for those, but really focus that weight shift. One hip to the other, you should almost be able to bring that foot off the floor. You can keep that foot down, but that's the concept, all your weight to one side. So we are starting with power-ups. You guys ready? We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Reaching down for the floor, big wide chest. Good. There we go. Both of these exercises are just to get those muscles moving, that blood flowing, that heart pumping, get that heart rate up just a little bit. Good. Big wide chest. There we go. 10 more seconds. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We got 10 seconds. We're going to transition to those shifts. Again, we're reaching in 3, 2, 1, and go. Reaching from side to side. Really focus all of that weight, moving from one hip to the other. Opening that chest wide. You can also leave those arms out. That is another alternative. Good. 10 more seconds here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. We are going to repeat both of those exercises again. So same 2 exercises first. We got power-ups. Then we're going to go into some reaches. All right. Here we go. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Reaching down for the floor. Big wide chest. Good. Remember, really exaggerate those motions as big as we can. You can also use those loud voices by counting out how many reps you get done within these 30 seconds here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 seconds rest here, then we're going for those reaches again. Again, a little bit of an arm exercise. You can leave those arms up in the lateral hold. Good, you ready? We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. We got 30 seconds here. Good. So hip stability is extremely important for walking, for standing, for balance. If our hips are pretty weak, our torso ends up being really unstable, which means we have a higher chance of falling. That's why today we are focusing on that hip strength. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. So the first exercise we are going to be doing, we're on our hands and knees. So in a quadruped position, we're going to stick with one leg at a time here. We're going to go 30 seconds on, 20 seconds of rest for today's exercises. For this one, we're going out to the side, back to the center, so keeping that knee bent. as we just bring that hip out to the side, back to the center. We don't want to dip those shoulders. We want to keep those shoulders nice and tight, that back and core nice and tight, and just move that knee out to the side, back to the center. We will then repeat it on the opposite side. Again, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds of rest for these. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice. Again, sticking with one side at a time here. Not letting those hips move open, keeping them nice and neutral. Good. Keep it going, keep it going. 10 more seconds here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 20 seconds of rest. We're going to do the same thing on the other side here. So same thing on the other side of the hip. Ready, you guys. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. You also want to try and keep that head and neck in a nice neutral position, so not looking up towards whatever's in front of you, but not also looking down towards your knee. You kind of want to be looking right around where your hands are placed. And those hands should be placed right under those shoulders, keeping those arms as straight as you can, not letting them bend down. Good. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. The next exercise, we have bird dogs. But for this one, we're going to come in, bring that elbow and knee as close together before extending all the way out. So again, it will be 30 seconds on one side to start. So you extend opposite arm, opposite leg, staying with that side for the whole 30 seconds here. Again, shoulders right over our wrists, knees right underneath our hips. So a nice tabletop motion, back nice and neutral. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice and controlled. Bring that elbow or wrist to that knee. Making sure we're not crunching in too far here. You want to keep those shoulders and hips still in a nice neutral position. A neutral position means that they're in relatively a straight line with the proper curvature of our spine. Good. Five more seconds here. Finish it out. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Same thing on the other side here. We got 20 seconds of rest. Nice job so far, everybody. All of these exercises work those glute muscles, those hips, maintaining that core. You're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Opposite arm, opposite leg here. Good. Keep it up. Maintaining straight arm on that opposite hand, the one that's stabilizing you on the ground here. Good. Not overextending, so you see that arch in my back. We don't want that. We want it nice and neutral here. Good, and relax. Good. Last one we are doing here. We are going to extend that leg. So I'm going to start with my right side here. Keeping that leg extended, we are going to lift it just off the floor. So my foot is probably about a foot off the floor here, but if you notice, my pelvis isn't rotating as I lift that leg up. So we're not going as high as we can. We are just lifting it until our hip is extended without our pelvis tilting. We got 30 seconds on each side. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. So it's really important to make sure that we're not hyperextending here, which means our pelvis is tilting. We don't want that. The reason being, we end up having a lot more curvature in that lower spine, which ends up causing low back pain. So all of these exercises are really important to maintain that tight core and keep that back in a nice neutral position. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We got the same thing on the other side. Same exercises on the other side here. We are going in 3, 2, 1, go. So again, only about 6 inches to maybe a foot at most off the floor. If you feel like you're arching that back, that's too far. So we want to go just until that leg is extended. Good. Keep it going, keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, we are gonna go through all 3 of those exercises again. So repeating all 3 exercises here, starting with our fire hydrants. So again, hip out to the side, back to the center. Repeating that motion, sticking with one leg at a time here. So I'm gonna start with my right leg. We are starting in 10 seconds. 30 seconds on, 20 seconds of rest. Going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. So remember, not letting those hips open up. That's a little too much there. Just enough to feel your hip go out to the side, back to the center. So you want to think about bringing those thighs away from each other, then back together. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 20 seconds of rest here. Same thing on the other side. Same exercise on our left leg now. Alrighty, we are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. So remember, just bring those thighs away from each other, not turning those hips open. We want to keep those hips stable here, not letting them open up too much. Too much meaning that all of our weight is shifted over and you can actually feel like your hips are opening up to that left side. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Ooh, nice job. We got bird dogs next. So bird dogs are next. Staying on those hands and knees, extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Remember, we're sticking with one side at a time here, not alternating. So we're extending opposite arm, opposite leg. Bring that hand towards that knee. So you want to crunch in just a little bit, but not enough that we're bringing that shoulder down. We want to keep that chest parallel to our ground. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. There we go. Nice tight core. If you feel yourself getting off balance, reset yourself and then start again. Good. 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job, everybody. We are going to the other side now. Good. We have 5 more seconds. Here we go. Ready? And go. Remember, extend opposite arm, opposite leg here. Maintain that core so that way our back is nice and neutral and not arching. Good. Keep it up, keep it up. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job, everybody. Last thing we have for this round, hip extension. So again, one leg all the way straight, raising it up, just until our leg is fully extended, then tapping it back down on the floor. Repeating that motion over and over again. We're staying with just the right side here. We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Remember, don't hyperextend here. You can also work on keeping that foot dorsiflexed, meaning we're not pointing our toes, but we're keeping our toes pulled towards our shins. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. One more time on the other side here. One more time. Got 10 more seconds of rest. Good. We are going in. 3, 2, 1, go. Make sure you also don't let that foot open up here, so we don't want to have those toes pointing towards the left side if we're doing our left leg here. Meaning we want that foot to stand as nice of a straight line as we can. Good. Five more seconds here. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Ooh, good job. We are going to flip over onto our back here. Couple more exercises left. First one is one we all know and love. We got our glute bridges. So we're starting with those bridges. That's the first exercise. Second exercise, if you have a band, you can do this with a band. You can also roll onto your side to do these. We are going to go clam shells. So bringing those knees down towards the mat, back up together. You can also do these laying on your side, making sure we are in a straight line from our shoulder to our hip to where our feet are. You can also do this against a wall to make sure you're in that proper positioning. And you'll go one leg at a time, bringing it up and back down. Remember, not rolling, so we're not opening those hips all the way up, but just enough to bring those knees away from each other. And you can add a band around those knees to add difficulty. We got those two exercises. And the last one is going to work our core. So for this one, you're going to have those legs up towards the ceiling if you can. You're slowly going to lower one leg down as far as you can, and then bring it back up. And then you'll alternate legs. But the really important part here, and you might only get those legs down a couple inches, is to make sure your core is tight and that back stays against the mat. So we're not letting our hips rotate open. So right there, that'd be a pelvic tilt. We're not working pelvic tilt. We want to keep that pelvis nice and neutral. So if you can only go down about an inch or two before that back starts coming off the mat, that's okay. Just go that inch or two, back up. So you want to go as far as you can, keeping that back flush to the mat. So again, first we have our glute bridges. So we are going with those in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. So for these, you want those feet to be about hip width apart. So have a straight line between your hips and your feet. And you're bringing those hips up towards the ceiling as high as you can, squeezing those glutes at the top of the motion. So not using that back to get us off the floor, but using those hips. Good. This is the same motion when we stand all the way up. So when we have a good stand, you should think about squeezing those glutes at the top of the motion. You can also do sit to stands to do the same muscles as this exercise right here. So if you're not comfortable on the floor, do some sit to stands for this one. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So we're gonna bring those feet together here, knees together. We have clam shells next. So slow and controlled, bring those knees down, bring them back up together, squeezing them nice and tight. You can use a resistance band for this one, or you can roll onto your side. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. So making sure we're not just letting our knees quickly fall to the sides. We want to control them down and control them back up. Again, these will work both the inside of the thighs and the outside. So it works our abductors and adductors here because we're fighting against gravity. Good. Keep it up, keep it up. You can also do these sitting down in a chair and putting a band around those knees. You start to bring those knees out to the side and then back together. So that's 3 options there, whether it's laying on your back, laying on your side, or sitting in a chair nice and tall. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next exercise, remember we got those feet up towards the ceiling. I'm going to keep those toes drawn towards our shins. We're going to put those hands flat on the floor. We're going to try and lower one leg down as much as we can before those hips start rounding off the mat, making that back come off. So you want to pretend there's a string pulling your belly button down to the floor. We're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice. So again, keep that core nice and engaged. String pulling your belly button down. Good. And again, you might only get a couple inches. That is okay. It's just as far as you can go before those hips start turning out. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We are going through all 3 of those exercises again, starting with our glute bridges. You can also make glute bridges a little more difficult here by making them single leg, alternating glute bridges. That is the other option. We're just sticking with our normal glute bridges here. We are going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. Squeezing those glutes at the top here. Getting those hips as high as we can. Good. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Bring those feet together. We have our clam shells next. And you can do these on your back, on your side, or sitting in a chair. We're just bringing those knees down towards the floor, then up together. So bring those knees apart, then squeezing them back together. We're going in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. There we go. Keep it up. Nice job, everybody. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Last exercise here. Before we finish out with a quick stretch, we are going with our leg lowers. I lied. After this one, we have one last thing, and it is a little bit of our challenge exercise for you guys. So first, we're starting with this one. Legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to lower one heel down at a time as far as we can, keeping that core tight and flush, our back flush against the mat. You ready? Set, go. So as much as we can, keeping that core nice and tight, not letting that back round off. One of those ways you can tell if the back is rounding is if that other leg also moves down without you moving those hips at all. So that is called a pelvic tilt, which is what we're trying to avoid here. This exercise will really help strengthen that core to help keep that pelvis in place all the time. Good. 10 more seconds here. Finish it out. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. We are slowly and safely going to make our way up from the floor here. Good. I'm going to move my mat out of the way for this next exercise here. So for this one, they're monster walks. Many of you have probably heard of them before. But for these monster walks, we're actually going in 4 directions. So we're going to take a nice, good little squatted stance here, keeping those knees bent and a little bouncy the entire time. You can put your hands on your hips or hold them in front of you. Either is perfectly fine. For this, we're going to go 4 directions. We got forward, backward, and then side and to side. So we keep going forward, backward, side to side, over and over again for a whole minute here. That's why it's our challenger. You gotta stay low though. So you gotta keep that squatted stance. Can't stand all the way up. You gotta keep them nice and squatted here. We're gonna start in about 20 seconds here. So for those forward walks, you wanna go heel to toe. When you go backwards, you wanna go toe to heel. Sideways, keep that foot in line. Don't let those toes point out. So we don't want toes pointing forward. Again, we got a minute here. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We got a minute. So this is a little bit of a challenger. So again, we're going forward first, backward, side to side. Repeating it for a full minute. Keeping that low stance, getting as low as you can. Challenge yourself. Good. Don't let yourself come up at all. You want to keep that low squatted stance. Remember, heel toe to toe heel. Then side to side, keeping that foot in line. Good. 20 more seconds here. Finish it out. Last little thing, then we're going to stretch. Good. Here we go, here we go. 10 seconds left. You can add a little bit of a challenge to this by adding a band around those ankles. That will increase that difficulty. 3, 2, 1, rest. Awesome job, guys. Good job finishing that out. We are going to now finish with a little bit of a stretch. We're going to go back to that same stretch we started with here today. You're going to have those feet a little wider than shoulder width apart here. We're going to reach down towards the floor. Nice deep breaths as we try to get those hands as close to the floor as we can, keeping those legs straight the entire time here. Good. Rolling our way back up into a standing position. We're going to kick that heel up, draw those toes towards our shin. Reach for that leg and those toes. We're going to keep that leg as straight as we can while we do this. You'll feel this in the calf and the hamstrings here. Good. And then switch legs. Good. Last thing here. Really wide stance. We're going to lean down into a lunge to stretch the inside of that thigh for the leg that is completely straight here. So you should feel a nice big stretch right on the inner thigh. And then back to the center and switch. So again, keep that leg straight, keep that foot down on the floor. You'll feel it on the inside of your thigh. Good. All the way up nice and tall. Bring those feet back together. Awesome job today. I hope to see you guys all again next week. Take care.